Hi, welcome to Cube Gallery. It's February 2009, and the work that's in the gallery this month is work by Jean Jewer, paintings, and sculpture by Hanna. And the reason I chose these two artists to fill the gallery are because I find that they have a certain tension between them, between their two styles. Jean Jewer, these paintings by Jean, they have an automatic feel to them, they have a gestural feel, they're aggressive almost in their abandon. But the works by Hanna, on the other hand, are careful and very fluid, very feminine, but also extremely careful and crafted to perfection in a very European sort of style. And I think that those two things go together. It's sort of like sweet and sour. The two things speak to each other. One informs your opinion of the other. And so as we walk through the gallery in a very quick way, because we only have a short time, because I know you all have very short attention spans, because you're into this media, right? So this is Jean Jewer's. It's called The Elements. It's a triptych. And most of her work and most of her paintings have some kind of relationship to the East Coast of Canada. She lived there, she grew up there, and she's always thinking, she says to me, she's always thinking about the ocean and the storms and the elements, and how the coast relates to the weather and the ocean. So I think that when you look at these abstract pieces, they are abstracts, but they're still landscapes, and they're landscapes from her past, and they're landscapes of Canada's eastern coast. Let's look at a few more of Jean's. So this one's quite intriguing. It's called Night Water, and you can see maybe the shimmering bits of light of night flashing off of water, and you know that water is a big part of her relationship to the world and her relationship to her painting. This one is called Clouds Burning Off, so it's no longer looking down at the water, but looking up at the sky, or looking maybe across a bay. And what you're looking at here is maybe some of the colors. It looks like it's probably morning. Clouds are burning off. There's these beautiful, beautiful subtle colors, which you probably won't get on this. Let's look at some of Hanna's work. Hanna has created this whole series of pieces based on the idea of relationships. So there's two, you'll see there's two slabs of clay for each of these ceramic pieces. And each one sort of represents an element of a relationship, and you always need two to create a relationship of communication of some kind. So each one of these speaks in some way of communication. Come around to this. This one's called Protection, and it's you can see a person is unfolding around another, the other is closing in a bit, but they're still open, and there's protection going on. Gorgeous colors, and again, it's ceramic, which is a surprise. A lot of people think of it as metal. I'm going to show you the piece that she brought in for this show, made for the Cube, and it's a piece of steel, and it still has the same relationship thing that we were talking about. Absolutely gorgeous piece. It could go outside or inside a very nice place, and it's an absolutely the piece sits on its own. Everything about it is just sitting. There's no pins. There's nothing to hold it in. It's just as solid as a rock, the way it is. And I know because I carried it myself in the door. Nearly broke my back. One last piece of Hanna's. And in the background, you can see Jean's lovely paperwork. But this one I really like, because this one is called Reaching into Space. And this is the International Year of Astronomy. The UN has declared it, and it's 400th anniversary of Galileo and looking through the telescope for the first time. So I'm particularly fond of this piece because it's all about that. It's all about space. So, maybe we'll end up over here in front of Jean's piece, simply called Red Abstract. And hopefully you can come down to Ottawa, Canada, and come to the Cube Gallery. This show is up until the end of February. Jean Jewer and Hanna. Hope to see you here.